What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of High Chicago. As usual, you got your boy Sean here with the same two homies he's always here with, my boy JV and the homie AD. In the words of the great Joshua Vincent, how y'all doing?
I don't think those are his words. Pretty sure he stole those.
Yeah, didn't the consultants tell me not to do that anymore? So how's it going, guys? It's doing very well. How about you, Sean? You doing all right?
I'll take the nerdy journalism voice today because we got some journalistic shit we want to dive into.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm fucking excellent. Today is the week that WWE is celebrating the 25-year anniversary of the NWO.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm out here representing for the New World Order. Shout out to Kevin Nash. Shout out to Scott Hall. Shout out to Hollywood Hogan. And you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and that's fine.
But live your life, man. Live your truth. It's okay.
It's okay.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
just like any other fantasy TV show. It's the same thing.
Game of Thrones, Gotham,
General
Walking
Hospital,
Dead,
Young
General
and
Hospital.
Restless.
Sure.
Hey, also random shit. Aaron, what's your favorite TV show of all time? Super random. And then we'll dive into the episode.
Favorite TV show of
All time.
It's probably the Flash TV series, the one that's still going on currently. Either
What
that or
time does
Arrow.
that come on?
CW.
Okay.
That's of all time, though? Because that's not even like the top 100 conversation.
I mean, it's mine, right?
Right. I
Is
mean,
it-
that
is
was
it-
his
is it-
opinion.
is it
right?
con-
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Consensus?
I
Like, what are we
didn't expect you to have
doing
a bad
here?
opinion. My bad. You have a bad opinion. That's fine. Though.
Oh, a
Not
bad
an issue.
opinion. Okay.
But
So you're talking about wrestling all the time. I mean, we being real, my number one TV show would be Sunday Night Football. But
Okay.
we're not going to count Sunday Night Football as a TV program. It's a sports program.
Mine is Young and the Restless at General Hospital.
I don't think we
General
asked you, though.
You know what? We could just go to the topic because we don't have
which is
time.
fine
That's
because
fine. You know,
what's
that's
funny about
totally
the topic
fine.
is it's TV related for the most part.
Kind of, sort of.
Slash, we're world related, right? So ESPN is going through some shit right now with two of its top colleagues, right? You got in one corner Rachel Nichols, who is a white ESPN host, and she has been a beast at her position for years, right? Hosting The Jump currently on ESPN, hosting a couple football programs. She has moved her way up through the ranks and has been really good at what she does, right? And again, the caveat is, hey, white, cool. And then you have Maria Taylor, who is also a beast. JV, from what I understand, Maria Taylor is one of your more favorite ESPN hosts.
Yeah, I love Maria.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think she's a beast at what she does too, right? So
Yeah.
school the people on Maria Taylor, who is an African-American host, who has also climbed her way up through the ranks, right? Why is she one of your favorites? And then what's the beef that's going down right now with ESPN? And I ask you because you're the media member, right? Maybe you're plugged in, maybe you're not. Let's see.
Maybe not. Okay. Well, Maria Taylor, if you don't know, as you mentioned, she is an outstanding host over there at ESPN. I mean, she does it all for the most part. I mean, she can do college. We've seen her on college football. We've seen her on the NBA. She's hosts various shows on ESPN, filled in for people as well. We've seen some of her sideline reporting. So she's kind of, been like a jack of all trades.
Up and coming as fuck, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you look at the up and coming talent of ESPN, you cannot have that conversation today without mentioning Maria Taylor's name. That's just, a fact. Now, as far as this beef goes, if you will, basically the New York Times put out an article. Actually, let's start before that. The New York Post actually put out a story about Maria Taylor wanting Stephen A. Smith level contract. I guess her contract is coming up at the end of the month. And the word on the street was that she wanted like a $5 million deal. Now, some people within the industry is saying that was like a leaked story by ESPN to try to make her seem like she was this money grabbing person or whatever the case may be. That's up to people's interpretations. But then about a week later, if that, the New York Times put out this explosive story on the 4th of July, no less. Everybody out barbecuing. And it was pretty much about how Rachel Nichols was overheard on a private conversation
last year. Privately recorded without her consent.
Without her consent. You don't have my permission. Shout out to our producer, Morgan. Without her permission. She was talking about how ESPN top execs have asked her to step aside to actually take Doris Burke's position, maybe move over to like a commentary role, if you will, to allow Maria Taylor to shine. Now, Rachel Nichols was basically saying, I'm not cool with this idea because I understand where this is coming from. ESPN has this issue when it comes to diversity. It's under a lot of flack right now. You got the civil rights movement, if you will, with Black Lives Matter, and the George Floyd situation just recently happened last year. And so ESPN is under a lot of fire. You're saying Black Lives Matter, but Black folks are saying, where are these Black people?
Wait,
and
time out.
Okay.
Because that's where things start to become in a disagreement between you and I, right? And also, this is like a sports episode. This is like a more workplace, what's right, what's wrong type episode,
right?
Sports related, right?
Okay.
Because what you say, I agree with. She said that she wished Maria Taylor all the success in the world, right? Because
yes, she did.
Football, she covered basketball, and she said that if you want to give her more things to do, I get that, because you guys are feeling pressure because of your shitty diversity. But don't make me the martyr for what you guys got going on.
Basically. That's
right?
what she was basically saying.
And don't take my thing away from me. Now, my thing is that you say ESPN is the villain, and I have yet to see any situation, Aaron, tell me if I'm wrong or not, where ESPN is actually painted as a villain. Rachel Nichols is the villain of this conversation for the most part.
So here's the thing. Not amongst your general public, amongst other media members and media personalities, they do paint ESPN as the villain in this situation. But I think that's because they're more in the know for the situation. Facts. And they see what ESPN has essentially done over time. Mike Hill was just on a program. I'm not even 100% sure what
Black News Channel.
Okay, Black News Channel. And he was talking about how an ESPN exec who no longer is with us, he's no longer alive, how he told him that he was too ghetto, and we already had someone who was ghetto, referring to Stuart Scott, who, if you know Stuart Scott, Sean, you're more ghetto than Stuart Scott is. So
insults that I compliment, like, what are we doing?
Take it how you want to take it. That's fine. Okay. But it's like straight ESPN has always had this long track record of not being the most diverse news network, sports news network, and not having the best policies when it comes to promoting diversity. Okay. And so other media members have taken note of that, and they have definitely put ESPN in the spotlight. But what you see from the general public, myself and you, Sean, is that we look at Rachel Nichols and her comments as being abrasive towards Maria Taylor's attempt to forward her career.
And if I can offer a different perspective as to why people in the media are saying that about ESPN, and this is kind of why. There's a big difference between saying, hey, this person is not qualified, this person does not have the intelligence, this person do not have the experience to do said job, but they're only getting this opportunity because they're Black. That's one statement. But it's a whole nother thing to say that, hey, this company wants to do right as it regards to its race relations because it's receiving a lot of public scrutiny by not having people of color on its platform in very comfortable positions like the one Rachel Nichols have. So you're trying to move me out of the picture to appease to this flack that you're receiving from the general public to put someone of color there. Those are two different things. And I think that people hear that, right? Your general public, and they heard Rachel Nichols' comments, and then they flew off the handle, basically said she was the next thing to the Ku Klux Klan.
Well, are they wrong for that, though, is my first question.
Yes, I'm going to tell you why they're wrong for that. Yes, they're wrong for that in this sense. Because when you look at Rachel Nichols' position, it's one of a kind. Rachel Nichols, if none of this was going on, she would have been the person sitting across from Chris Paul, which we saw in the Western Conference Finals, right? She would have been the person sitting across from Chris Paul, asking him the post-game questions on ESPN, similar to what we saw Crispy Haynes doing for TNT. So that would have been Rachel Nichols' job during the NBA Finals. The exclusive that Malika Andrews did with Devin Booker and his car and all of that, that would have been Rachel Nichols, just like we saw her in the bubble with Jimmy Butler. That would have been Rachel Nichols sitting down, having this nice little exclusive access to some of the best talent in the NBA Finals, right?
Did white privilege get her this position, or did she earn this position?
Well, before we get to that part, just let's stay centered real quick. What all I'm saying is that job is very unique. So when you get a job like that, you're going to be very guarded about that. And you don't want someone to take your job unless it gets to the point where you retire or whatever the case may be, or you get a better offer at Fox Sports or TNT or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. So if your boss or you're hearing through the grapevine, hey, they're going to try to move you to a different role from the one that you have because they're receiving all this flack. People are saying, hey, ESPN, you're talking about Black Lives Matter, George Floyd, we down for the cause. But why you ain't got no black people in these nice, high-level, comfortable positions, then you're going to feel some type of way about that. So it's not so much about Rachel being this racist and bigot person like everybody is saying. Well, some comments a little off the cuff for sure, but it was a private conversation, so I'm not surprised by that. You know,
wait. Hang on.
Okay.
So, just so I'm clear.
Yes, sir.
You're saying that because her conversation was meant to be private and it was recorded, right? You're saying that what she's saying wasn't real? Are you saying that it was justified because it was a private conversation?
I'm saying yes. I'm saying it was a real conversation. It was raw. It made you kind of feel like, ooh, okay, dang, Rachel, tell us how you really feel. That's not something she probably would have just generally said in public. But again, I didn't take her comments to be so much so racist. I mean,
wait. How the fuck? No, sorry. Now I kind of have an issue though. I have kind of an issue, right?
Okay.
Hey, ESPN, you guys, want to have more black people or black women specifically in a prominent position, right? Cool. Not on my time though. Y'all can do that shit all you fucking want. Not on Rachel Nichols' time. That's what the fuck I gathered from that conversation. And what you're saying is you understand that.
I'm saying yes. I understand where she was coming from, considering her role that she has at ESPN. Understand that this journalism industry is very competitive. Hey, look at it this way. Before Adrian Wojnarowski joined ESPN, and I think he was at some other site. Yahoo. I can't remember what. Yahoo.
Yahoo.
Yeah. Remember when he was so great at his job, he could tell you the NBA draft while the introduction was still going on over at ESPN. Mm-hmm. Like he was able to take on an entire corporation. And when you say ESPN, you think about the TV station, but think about it. We're talking about hundreds of journalists under one company. This one man was able to take on this entire company and tell us who was the first 10 picks before the draft even aired at 7:00 Central. Okay, so Josh, what's your point? My point is that Rachel Nichols had a very prominent role at ESPN for what she was doing. It's a very unique role. Sports journalism as a whole is very unique. If you guys were to think about it, how many people do you know even talk to sports athletes other than myself? If you take me out the equation, how many people
take sports journalism even out of the equation? Because for me, this conversation is not about sports journalism. And Aaron, for you, I want to bring you into this conversation because your Twitter name is about you being excessively black, right? So in my mind, like you should be caping up for Maria Taylor against JV, no fucking problem. Because take journalism out of the equation. It's not about that. Rachel Nichols made this about race.
Right. And I hated that. I hated her comments, right? On one hand, she's definitely very, very wrong with the way that she presented those comments. On the other hand, and Sean, I'm gonna bring it back to you in your professional life. Let's say you're a manager at your store. Mm-hmm. Let's say they brought somebody else who was looking to get into management, and your company had troubles, and it was a woman. It was a woman, and she had trouble getting into management. They took you out of your spot, told you, hey, I want you to just hop on the sales floor and we're going to have her run the store. You're not going to take offense to that a little bit?
He will. Let me answer that for him. Sean will be the first to say, look, I know this place may have its issues as it relates to having women in these roles, but they got me blank up if they think I'm about to be doing
That's what I'm saying. The sentiment was correct on her part, the sentiment behind it makes sense. But the way that she presented it in a private conversation, but it still doesn't excuse her comments. The way she presented it was definitely wrong and definitely could be taken as a racist attack.
So just so I'm clear, let me be clear, because Aaron kind of posed some shit to me, right?
He did. Go ahead.
I'm not going to take offense because it's a woman, right? The only thing I'm going to ask is, why is this person more qualified for this job than me? Present that to me.
No. That's not the equation that Aaron just brought to you.
Yes, it is. He said she's
no.
She's a woman.
No. Aaron basically is saying if the company that you work for has a historical issue with putting women at high level positions like the one that you're currently in at the company that you are with, and you know this, and next thing you know, people start whispering to you saying, oh, we heard you might have to move to the sales floor because they trying to show that they do stand up for women through the women movement and everything that's going on. And then your GM and whoever start reaching out to your regional VP and all of that, start saying, hey, Sean, hey, this is what we want. This is what we're thinking. Okay. Hey, your store is very successful. We're thinking about moving Molly in here because, you know, we want to show that we do care about women and that women empowerment, whatever the case may be. We want to move you over to the sales floor. You telling me in a private conversation with some of your colleagues that you know, that you're not going to sit there and be like, I know they ain't finna put that B in my job. Now, if we heard that on tape,
exactly what's going to happen.
If we heard that on tape, we'll be sitting there on Twitter and be calling you a misogynistic guy and a-hole, everything else. But in the
these Twitter fingers will get to working.
You know, but at the end of the day, that's a fair thing. And I just one more example. As everybody know, I'm you know about to take a job as a local news reporter. Let's say Pride Month is in June, right? That's when Pride Month is. Okay. And let's say if the company I'm working for, they say, oh, well, you know what? We got an issue with the LGBTQ community. We never really put anybody.
But the company didn't say that. Rachel Nichols put that out there for the company. So that's me saying, I know you.
But that means that it's a known historical issue.
The company I work for.
Right.
Out there like that, you know what I'm saying? I think that's bullshit on the company's part to put me in that position because the company put Rachel in that position to feel this way.
But it's a fact. That's why Aaron told you the general public went ham and started going, oh, she the Klan, cancel her, woo, what the bam, where everybody in the media was kind of like, okay, Rachel, she, you know, them comments was kind of, but she ain't lying, because the thing is that when you look, if you look up Keith Olbermann's tribute to Stuart Scott, and he talked about how Stuart Scott was not only strong in facing, you know, his disease, but he was also strong in the pressure that he had from work. And he was talking about the issues that came up where executives came up to Stuart Scott and basically was telling him, you can't use this lingo, the booyah, and cool it in the other side of the pillow. And that also, you know, what Mike was saying on the Black News Channel, being ghetto, ESPN has historically been that way. Jemele Hill was all cool and fine, but the moment she started getting on Twitter, you know, being a little Detroit, being a little black, you know what I'm saying? What Aaron called himself on Twitter, excessively black. When her and Michael Smith, I think that's his name, when they had the Sports Center to 6 and they started being very excessively black, that's when
it felt real. And it got too real for ESPN.
And it got too real for ESPN.
But no one's making ESPN the fucking villain in this conversation, right?
That's the problem.
But it's media.
That's exactly. Yes, Aaron, it is only media. But my point is that fucking if I notice a problem and I call it out, right, I'm the bad guy. But the company is absolved from the issue when, as people, right, black people have it harder than white people on this planet. That's a fact.
Okay.
Right? I don't give a shit what you say, what job role you want to try to apply for. Yeah. The white man or white woman has it better than us regardless. But now, not only is it tough being black, it's also tough being a black woman, right? And I am not, none of us are that, but we have friends, family members that can speak from experience that know that. So you got Maria Taylor, who's not only black, but also is that black woman trying to compete with a white woman in an industry where they represent the white people the most, trying to fight for the top. So Rachel Nichols was ignorant for her comments, being exposed, yes, ignorant in general also, right? But Maria Taylor also was quiet, maybe until today or a couple of days ago, in the situation, and I think that she handled it well, but she's also the victim. Nobody, entire thing without even like being asked for.
I don't think anybody is disputing that. I don't think anybody is saying that we shouldn't protect our.
But are we acknowledging that black women have it tough? Not us three in general. Yeah, did the public do a good job of acknowledging?
Yes. I would say this. I would say, without question, black women have it extremely tough, without question, especially in sports journalism. The toughest. I would say the toughest, especially in sports journalism. Women have it tough, and black women have it tougher. And if you listen to Rachel Nichols' comments, she even said, "Hey, as a woman, I get it. This company got its issues with putting women in places to be successful. And
Black women.
I get it.
No.
She said yes, but she said as a woman, she understood. Yeah, she was like, "Hey, I get it." So when you hear that, I'm hearing Rachel Nichols basically say, just to paraphrase, "Look, I got my spot. The NBA is mine. This is me. My job. This is me. I ain't finna go nowhere. I feel it. They getting this flack, rightfully so. As a woman, I understand it. I seen it for myself firsthand, but I ain't finna move out the way so y'all can let Maria shine. Y'all do that on your own time. Because see, this right here, this is my baby. And I feel like people in places of those comfortable positions, I think anybody would take that. And Aaron, put your feet to the fire. He just said, hey, if you were in that situation and somebody said to you, hey, Sean, we're going to have to move you from your comfortable management position where you come in when you want to come in, you do what you want to do, kind of set your schedule, whatever the case may be, we're going to put you on a sales floor. Not so much that your bonus is based on what your employees doing. We're going to put you directly on the sales floor. And we want to see her, Molly, shine. You will be saying privately to the three of us, if there was no recording, them blank the blanks got me effed up. I'm finna give me a new job. I'm finna get my unemployment. JB Priska still got the extra unemployment going because they got me effed up.
Okay, so then facts. Then why?
That's what Rachel Nichols said. She said,
problem.
y'all can do that diversity somewhere else.
Why is nobody talking about Adam Mendelsohn?
Who's Adam Mendelsohn?
Go ahead. He was the guy.
Who's Adam Mendelsohn?
He was the guy. Okay, that's who Rachel was having a conversation with. To my understanding, they said that he's a spokesperson for LeBron, and he was also part of that voting movement that they had going on. And he was the one that said, between the Me Too movement and Black Lives Matter, quote, I'm exhausted. And Rachel Nichols laughed. Now, again, just real quick, I want Aaron to jump in. Real quick, again, a private conversation, somebody saying something. I'm not expecting Rachel to say, hold up, wait a minute, don't do black folks. I'm not expecting all of that.
But didn't he record it?
But,
was he the one that recorded it?
No. Somebody else recorded this conversation. It was like, I think somebody that worked in like the digital social media team. Somehow they were around and this was recorded, or they had something on and it was recorded and they heard it and then they sent it to people all throughout the company, or at least a few people in the company. So long story short,
and Kayla Johnson was the one who sent it to everybody.
Who did that?
And she's the one that got punished. Just so I'm clear, she sent the video to Maria Taylor. And Kayla Johnson, who is black, was suspended for 2 weeks without pay and then given less desirable tasks at work because of her sending the shit to Maria Taylor.
And rightfully so, because you can record somebody privately and you being messy at the workplace.
It's law at that point. You're getting into a legal situation at that point, Sean. So
I mean, fire her then. Don't suspend her without pay and then tell her, hey, you're going to come back. You're going to do menial shit.
So you'd rather just have her out of the job market entirely? I mean, I understand.
I mean, that's kind of extreme. I mean, right. I mean, I feel you, but that's kind of extreme. But I mean, in some states, it's illegal to record somebody without their consent. Illinois is one of them. So, depending on the state that they were in when this took place, I don't know. I guess the people who are getting
or Florida, one of the two.
The people who are getting blamed or who are getting a brunt of the punishment, whether it's via ESPN or via the media, I feel like are not the people who should be getting the brunt of the punishment or the negative backlash.
So you think it should be the Mendelsohn guy?
Him and ESPN.
Well, without question.
You're talking about a corporation at that point. Like,
so you're telling me
so do you want corporations? So I'm saying, who do you actually want to get the blame?
I mean, ESPN is the one who created. ESPN is the one, the company. I don't give a fuck who from the higher up needs to fall, but they should fall for creating the narrative that Rachel Nichols has to go against Maria Taylor for job opportunities. That's bullshit. They're both code of what they do, and the fact that Rachel Nichols felt some type of way about the way ESPN does some shit, and Maria Taylor's the victim. ESPN should fall, but we don't let fucking corporate 500 companies fall like that.
Well, so here's what would have to happen in this situation, though, Sean. At that point, you're asking Disney to step in, okay? Because that's the only person who can change any of this.
Bet. All right, Walt. Fuck you at?
Of course. All right. If you think it's Walt, you say
I don't know.
Right. I'm like, okay.
I don't fucking know. That's all I know.
I believe the CEO is Bob Iger right now. Oh wait, no, he stepped down. He stepped down. I have no clue who the CEO is now.
Hey, Walt. Yeah, Sean said you need to clean ESPN up. Okay,
there you go. That is the.
So Walt said he owned it. He said he is on the task. But if I could just have a couple of minutes of you guys' time real quick, so people can understand it from a media's perspective. These jobs are very unique, and these jobs are very competitive. And it's one of those things where, Sean, you've expressed to me, hey, I want to get into sports journalism. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I told our homeboy James this. I said, hey, cool. If Sean was like a beat writer for the Bears and I'm a beat writer for the Grizzlies, and we both working under the same company, whether that's ESPN or the same newspaper company, TV station company, or whatever the case may be, cool. It's no harm, no foul. But if Sean and I are direct competitors of each other, he's Mark Stein, I'm Adrian Wojnarowski, or he's Skip Bayless at Fox Sports and I'm Josh Vincent at ESPN. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in direct competition for each other. And my job is to outperform, outsource, break news first over him.
But don't make it about race, brother. That's it.
But this is the thing. Rachel Nichols didn't say. That's why I said at the beginning, what Rachel Nichols didn't say is that Maria Taylor isn't qualified and she only getting this opportunity because she Black. That's what she
said. Half of that. She said half of that.
No. She did not say any of that. What she said was, our company is receiving flack, which it did. Remember last year, so people can understand, because this was recorded in 2020. Every time you logged on Twitter or went to any company, everybody went on Instagram and first made their thing all black. Remember, all black.
The all black square or whatever.
Yeah, everybody did
that. Was random for sure.
Okay, everybody did that. Every company, just like they did for Pride Month last month, every company was Black Lives Matter. Remember the Red Sox? Everybody had to say something about Black Lives Matter. George Floyd, we stand with the people. Derek Chauvin should, be charged. Everybody had an opinion, and Black people said, okay, cool, that's all nice, fine, and dandy, but put your money where your mouth is. Show where your Black folks at. Okay, that's cool, y'all having these conversations, but where the Black folks at? And people said the same thing to ESPN. They said, okay, cool, y'all say Black Lives Matter, y'all support Black folks. Why there ain't no Black people outside of Stephen A. Smith in some of these nice, comfortable positions? And so ESPN tried to put a Black person in one of them nice, comfortable positions. And Rachel Nichols just called out the ugly. The way she said it, I can understand people feeling some type of way, but she just called out the ugly. Again, it's no different, Sean. If I and Aaron was having a private conversation about your current employer, and like we just said, they moved you to the sales floor because they don't normally put women in management positions, and they put Molly in the management position, you would be the first to call us and say, they put this B in my job, I'm finna quit. And they got me,
especially if it's a pay cut or something that like fucks with my lifestyle. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Rachel,
I'm not fronting on that.
Okay. So give my girl
but me talking about it as a woman perspective, right? Which I would never do. Just be clear. Rachel Nichols made it about race, and the company made it about race per Rachel Nichols.
But that was the okay. But we're saying, Sean, in the example that we gave, whether it was them, whether your company put a woman in position, whether people saying, well, hey, this company had LGBTQ everything last month and Pride Month.
Also, fuck y'all, because y'all both do the same thing.
What?
You would, all right, bet. In your
I would. Right, but we're not arguing. But we're not arguing against it, though.
I would. I go on the record and say, yes, if I was a morning reporter at a prominent TV station, and my
like
station,
you are currently.
No, right now I'm not. I'm just in the background right now, but I will be the
media producer,
right?
Digital content producer.
Okay, you gotta tell everybody my job.
He's bad at it.
Okay, so but real quick, just so everybody can hear me out, so y'all can understand the scenario. If I got a nice top dollar, comfortable entertainment type reporter job where I wake up in the morning to do all these fun, cool things, that's my job. But right before Pride Month, we're talking about pride this, pride that, pride this, pride that. And we putting the colors everywhere, right? And I'm just saying.
I say don't get canceled.
No, I'm not. And if somebody if the LGBTQ community start writing into the station saying that's nice and fine that y'all do all this, but y'all don't have anybody openly gay at the station. Y'all don't have anybody openly gay on the evening news. Y'all don't have anybody that identify with our community on such and such. right? And my boss, and I know this historically, this is what's going on. And my bosses come to me and they say, Josh, there's a role that you're in.
Just like that, right?
We want to maybe move you. We were thinking maybe to the digital side of things. I mean, you can still do what you're kind of doing, but we want to maybe put you on a digital desk because we're going to bring, someone else in because, we're kind of getting, okay, cool. If I'm having a private conversation, I probably would be like, that's crazy how they just gonna move me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, homie is cool and he doing his thing, a phenomenal reporter, all of that. None but love and respect. He covered basketball, covered football, very funny. So of course he gonna make y'all laugh in the morning, but I'm not finna move. I ain't trying to be on the computer when this is my, nah, y'all can do that wherever y'all can do it on the evening show, y'all can do it on lunch break, but not on that's how the afternoon shows be called. Y'all can do it on the afternoon show, but not on my morning show.
But your opinion can't be saved for what people call like pillow talk. So back at the crib, like it has to be with a colleague. You can't just save that shit for somewhere else where it's not gonna get recorded.
But I guess my thing is, I don't know Rachel's relationship with that guy. That could be somebody she's pretty close with within the industry.
I mean, but again, not to that level.
No, I would say so because think about it.
If she felt comfortable enough to say that in front of him, then it probably.
Sean, aren't you close with people that you work with? Are these people? Is it not people that it's your job that you won't have private conversations with about what's going on within the company that you work for? Don't sit here lying on us.
No, not to that level.
Not to that level. So you telling me?
Come on
now. You telling me it's nobody at you? You might be saying that for the camera, but anyway, if we wasn't recording right now, y'all, I can name probably 2 or 3 people. How you doing? That you can probably call. 2.
I mean, same for both of you motherfuckers. What the fuck?
That's the point.
I actually don't have friends at work, so
Aaron doesn't have friends. My bad. I apologize.
Okay, well I could. Yes, I would probably call some of my former colleagues and tell them like, this some BS they trying to gonna pull me off the morning show for this.
So then I guess the moral of the story is be careful who you trust.
Well,
be careful who you're around. You know what I'm saying?
I would say the moral of the story is, what I want us Black people to stop doing, because we've been doing this a lot lately.
No,
everything ain't racist.
That's true.
I'm sorry.
It's not right.
Yes, there are some times where we need to stand up, rise up, and fly like a bird. Okay, there are some times. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me make this quick.
We had this conversation on just the previous episode, Sean.
I'm just saying.
The Bill Cosby thing.
I'm saying. Yeah. I'm just saying. There are some times where we can do that, and I'm down for that.
You might as well sing "Wade in the Water" at this point too.
Listen, don't make me start preaching. Can I preach for a second before we go? Before we close, there's some times that us Black people can come together. There's some times that you can call on your brother and protect your Black sister and your queen. But this was not the time. Now, don't get me wrong. I appreciated the support that Black folks showed Sister Maria. Wow, come on now. But this was not the time. Sister Rachel was not the Ku Klux Klan.
Preach.
Okay? She made a comment that I can understand why people feel that way. Well, but everything ain't racist. Okay, everything is not racist. See, we do that on Black Twitter. We do.
Take your time.
Even with police shootings. Okay, how you can't sit up here finna run over the police officers and everybody, and then when you get shot, see, they always shooting her. I'm sorry, if I had a gun and you almost ran me over, I'm gonna shoot you too. Okay, how you doing? Come on now. Now, yes, when it calls for it, I love when Black Twitter stand up. They get your address, they act a fool. We've seen some of those occasions in New Jersey. White man messing with his Black man. Is he walking down the sidewalk? They came, a whole community showed out.
Facts.
Beautiful. Let's keep doing that. But Rachel pointing out the obvious that the company she worked, because think about it. If I asked you right now, name 5 Black folks at ESPN that's not named Stephen A. Smith and that's not a that was not a former athlete, how many people can you name?
Rephrase that.
Name 5 Black people.
While we still on camera.
No, I'm actually texting you dickheads, but it's fine.
Okay, my phone's on airplane mode, but I'll be quick.
Airplane mode.
Name 5 Black people that work for ESPN that's not a Stephen A. Smith or a former athlete.
I couldn't.
Well, you kind of have to be A or B.
That's
and being a former athlete is not a bad thing. So let's not make this.
No, I'm just saying. No, I didn't say it was. I'm just saying.
But those are the most prominent people. Those are people you know. Right. Those are the ones that are most visible.
You know the Jalen Rose. You know the Kendrick Perkins. You know those guys. I'm saying, name me 5 black people that currently work for ESPN. That's not Stephen A. Smith, and that's not a former, athlete. And if you can't name them.
Wasn't Maria Taylor a former athlete though? Too Maria Taylor athlete.
She was a collegiate athlete.
I mean, an athlete though. So I guess like why wouldn't you be an athlete?
He's talking professional.
I'm talking professional. I'm saying people like Jalen Rose got his job because of his experience as an NBA player, not so much because
radio count.
I said name 5 black people. Can you name 5
Jonathan Hood?
That's one
person.
Job. Name 5 black people that work at ESPN. That is not a former professional athlete. And it's not
Maria Taylor and oh God, what's the girl's name? It's just Marika. Is that her name?
Malika
Andrews.
And I think don't she got a sister that I don't know if she
nope, that's not you asked. You asked about siblings.
Oh my bad. I was just saying she had a sister that also does sports journalism, but my bad.
Liz Granderson is a dude, by the way.
He just making up people.
Oh no, LZ Granderson. I'm sorry, not Liz. Wow.
Right. See, he over making up.
He didn't make up a person.
Time up. So
but it's difficult. I'm not gonna front.
Okay, so that's my point. My point is this. I'll conclude by saying this.
Good job.
Aaron, you might remember this. Sean, you may not recall this, but Aaron, do you remember when during the whole, Black Lives Matter movement and stuff like that, it was D'Angelo Russell. He was up in Minnesota and they did this Zoom call and the reporters were all white, mostly men, maybe a couple of white women, but they were asking him questions about his thoughts. And instead of him taking questions, he actually turned the questions to them. And it was this nice, beautiful thing on Twitter where they talked for like 20 to 25 minutes about just race and society and everything that was going on. And it was especially important because it was Minnesota. Okay, I got a point I'm going to make real quick. Everybody.
What's funny with JV is like he'll like go off on a tangent and then like say, "Hey, I got a point I got to make."
He's giving background. He's giving background.
Stay with me. That was so right. You have this black athlete talking with mostly white reporters who will openly admit that we're kind of out of touch with issues as what it's like to be black men and black women in America. It was a beautiful conversation. But then here's the problem I had with it. As big as Minneapolis is, it's a top 20 market as far as TV goes. It's a top 15 market probably as far as NBA goes. It's a big market. You mean to tell me out of all the professional teams, and they got one for every association, y'all ain't got one black person that can cover something for all those different outlets that they got in Minneapolis? They got an ABC, CBS, and a Fox affiliate. They have Fox Sports 1, who I believe is now. I mean, they have Fox Sports North, which I believe now is Valley Sports North because Valley, bought all the Fox Sports. They got newspapers, they got The Athletic, and you can't find one black person to cover professional sports in the state of Minnesota.
It might be you.
Could be you.
Just that's the issue that we have as far as media goes, sports journalism goes. Bro, it's times I go into the locker room. I'm the only black person in the locker room other than the athletes.
Big yikes.
Come on. Look at Chicago. I know some of y'all don't watch the local news. Turn to your local news tonight at 10 and tell me how many black folks you see on the news. Come on. That's the biggest.
Does Jose Anderson still work?
Jose Sanders, you mean?
That's my name's Jose, so he can't be black. There's no way he's black.
But he is black.
Just to conclude, so people can understand. Okay. So people can understand from a media perspective. It ain't that many black folks on the TV screen as it is, like you may think that it is. And it ain't that many black people covering this sport. And that's why the biggest gripe athletes have with a lot of these journalists, when they get into trouble, this, that, and the other, they rail them and just go in on them in the newspapers and the TV, this, that, and the other, because a lot of these white folks don't understand these black people. And then it's a lot of black young journalists like myself, but even more that's trying to break into this industry. And it's like trying to swim through 12 feet of water and you ain't got no life jacket. It's hard.
And that's any industry though, bro. Not even just like media or journalism, right? That could be anything, bro. Black people have it tough. But again, my point earlier was black women probably have it the toughest.
I agree.
Out of anybody.
I agree. I agree, Pastor. I sure do, Pastor. And I just say Black excellence, Pastor. You know, I support Maria Taylor. I think it's beautiful what she's done. She's definitely an inspiration to so many young Black women coming up into this industry without questioning.
Facts.
You know, but is it not sad that in Black culture, when you talk to any young Black man about being a sportscaster, the only person they can really reference is Stuart Scott and Stephen A. Smith?
I mean, that's sad as shit if we're being transparent.
I mean, think about it. So I'm 31, and Stuart Scott was like in his prime when we were kids, like 94, 95, 96, 97. You know, he was doing really well when we were like babies. So not to be long-winded, but just think about it. So people that's older than us, people in their 40s, lower 40s, those people, our generation, everybody younger, it's only 2 Black men we could really sit there and say, hey, we want to grow up, you know, especially if sports journalism is your thing. We got to say Stephen A. Smith or Stuart Scott. But imagine being a young white kid. You know, you can name anybody. You can go Fox Sports and name folks. You can name folks at ESPN. You can name folks at NBC Sports. You can name 4 or 5 white folks when Mike and Mike had a show.
You got a fucking plethora of motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you can say Mike and
Mike Green.
Mike Green. You can say so.
But you said something, JV, that kind of like hit me on the head for a second there, right?
Go ahead,
that was a Black excellence, right? And I think everything that we talked about today kind of like supports Maria Taylor, and I think that all of us want Maria Taylor to thrive, right, no matter what. But we also, to a certain extent, some of us, right, some more than others, understand Rachel Nichols' point from a certain perspective. But what I would like to do to end the show would be to kind of talk about some Black excellence final thoughts.
Okay.
If you guys are cool with that.
All right, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm gonna go first because I got a few, so just kind of bear with me for a little bit, right?
Okay, you got about 20 minutes.
I don't need 20 minutes, but I just need probably like 2.
Okay.
So the first one that I want to give a recognition to is my sister, right? So Shayla Washington, right? She has done some big shit that is very important to her and to me, is on the top 100 list of children's Black and African-American storybooks. She has debuted at number 18.
That's nice. Big time.
And has also skyrocketed to number 4 out of the top 100.
That's big time. That's
so
awesome.
She has a children's book. Let me make sure I got the name right. It's called Your Dark Skin is Beautiful.
I love that.
It's available on Amazon and Amazon Prime. Costs $16.50. The more you guys buy, the higher her shit goes. But she has put together her first children's illustration, and I think she has killed the game with that. So that is Black excellence right there. So Shayla, honestly, shout out to you. You're doing your thing. I love you. Keep thriving. I appreciate what you do and all your efforts. Let me start.
Is this Black excellence or is this a Black commercial? Because I feel like you might as well just drop the link in the bio at this point.
And I will. You know what I'm saying?
Will be down there.
I got
link will be in the description.
Right.
Right.
The second thing, as far as Black excellence goes, is I'm a big spelling bee person. Right. Spelling bee champion, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And her name is Zalia Avant.
Right. You can't even say her name right.
What's her name? It's not Zalia Avant.
I just was talking crazy.
Oh, Zayla Avant-Garde. What the fuck is he? Oh, Avant-Garde. My apologies.
That's okay, brother.
We'll fix that.
No. We'll let that.
No, leave the rawness in, brother. What are you talking about?
I mean, so I'm looking at her shit to make sure I got her shit right, but I got it wrong as fuck. But regardless, she is the first, which blew me, African-American spelling bee champion in the 96 years of the National Script Spelling Bee. Which is fucking insane to me. But not only that, that's her side hustle.
Yeah, Hooper too.
I'm gonna say,
she's a Hooper.
Yeah, she is a
her
baller.
Her real hustle is she's damn near got a D1 scholarship like at the ready.
That's crazy.
Which is cold to me. So Aaron, one more time, pronounce it for me, please.
Zayla Avant-Garde.
Zayla Avant-Garde. I was way the fuck off.
You were in Black Twitter. If Sean was white and he mispronounced her name, that don't make him racist.
Be over.
Also,
he might not can read, but that don't necessarily make him
might
racist.
not can read is what he said.
Right.
It's crazy.
You got
Gart. The fuck off, because I didn't even know the shit was on yesterday. So I'm looking at shit today, and I just seen it in my mentions. I was like, oh fuck, this is lit.
Oh yeah, it's the biggest story on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't know until like 2 hours ago. But shout out to her though, honestly. And then the third thing for Black excellence would be us,
2 minutes,
right?
Okay.
My bad. So September 25th, hear me now for the first time, but not the last time. September 25th, High Chicago is going to collaborate with a music group called Celestial Music. We're going to host a concert/live podcast event out in Richmond Park. So please come through, come support. We're going to do live interviews with entrepreneurs for the music industry. We're going to talk to the crowd. We're going to do a live episode. We are going to have fucking fun, get lit, get live, be loud. Be live, and I need you guys to come support. More info as it comes through. But September 25th, High Chicago is going to go live for its own special event, Black Excellence. Right? That's all I got. Big AA round. What you got, homie?
So you kind of just sprung this shit on us,
right? Yeah.
Wish I would have a little more time.
I mean, honestly, don't be fucking clowns. Figure it out.
September 25th.
So let's see.
Let me see if my new employer gonna let me off that day.
Black Excellence.
Go ahead. Right. Go ahead.
I don't really have too much Black Excellence. Shout out to the new iCarly series. One of the stars is Black, which there were like no Black people on the original iCarly series.
Excellent.
So that's all I got for you.
That's something, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers being prominent in a Nickelodeon series in 2020.
Well, Paramount Plus.
Yeah, same shit. I mean, we're same shit though, right?
Same company, sure.
All right, then. The fuck you talking about? It's like semi-prominent, bro. Fuck it. You got it, Aaron. JV, please give me a better final thought than Aaron.
I will. I would say, shout out Black Excellence to all the aspiring young Black journalists, especially my young Black women, my Black women in general. You guys have so much adversity stacked against you. Number one, being a woman first, and then being Black. It's always adversity. But I love the fact that you guys are fighting and shining. Beautiful, beautiful Black women. I've met a ton of them on the beat that I've worked with and talked to, and they my sisters, and they've always looked out for me. Sheena Quick will be one of them. Shout out to Sheena, covering the Carolina Panthers and all sports really out there in the Carolinas. Sharon Brown will be another one here in Memphis, covering the Memphis Grizzlies. Again, always showing love, always supporting us Black brothers, and we definitely stand with you guys. And Maria Taylor as well. I know some people gonna listen to this and be feeling some type of way, but no, shout out to Maria Taylor, because her presence by itself means so much to aspiring up and coming Black women that want to get into sports journalism and maybe even journalism as a whole. And I'll conclude and say what I hope is that these companies truly put their money where their mouth is, because when my son come up, I don't want him to only be able to name one or two people that's Black that he can say I aspire to be, because growing up, I didn't have that. I want to be a journalist. I aspire to be like other white men. Right. Oh, you have to say his name. But anyway, I aspire to be other white men, because growing up watching Chicago news, exactly, growing up watching Chicago news, it wasn't Black folks on the TV like that. And still to this day in 2021, I can name maybe 3 or 4 Black folks in all of Chicago TV. Sometimes.
Which is
I just know Jose Sanders.
Progress.
That's the crazy part.
Right. Right. That's sad. So Black Excellence, keep doing what y'all doing, fighting the change. Shout out to Black Twitter for doing good work. That's Black Excellence. If you want another Black Excellence, that's Twitter. Black Excellence for sure. I was on them today, and I hope they don't come for me. I love Black Twitter, because when it's done right, they make change, and I love that. They don't
pay attention to you at all.
I pay attention
to you. I'm gonna delete my Twitter after this.
Don't do that. No, I'm good. For the man who refers to himself as excessively Black, bring us home.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us here today. If you shut up, JV. I don't like the laugh. Throwing me off, man.
No. It's the look for me. Wait. It's the look for me. Keep this in, Sean, and producer.
I have to look at the camera. The camera's right here.
Go ahead. Okay.
Screen's here. Camera's here. It's in 2 different areas.
Start from the top.
Anyway.
3, 2.
Oh my God, here come this nigga. Anyway, thank you for joining us here today. Yes, I did. Thank you for joining us here today on YouTube. If you want to hear us on an audio platform, it usually goes up a little bit earlier. You can find us on Spotify. If you want to follow us anywhere, we got a Twitter and an Instagram at HotChicago312. Leave a comment below. We don't have that. If you want to, you can leave a comment below, like, share, subscribe. And until next time, peace.
We need OnlyFans guys, so we can definitely make some money.
We got to figure out who can do that.